Hello everyone, so this is a lesson on Telltale Heart. This is the story that we will read today, and it is by Edgar Allan Poe. It is also a story written in the 1800s, so we're going to go over a little bit of information before we get started. So the objective of this lesson is that after initial reading and discussion of this short story, students will be able to implement a reading comprehension strategy, use context clues to define new vocabulary, and demonstrate comprehension by responding to questions using textual evidence. Students will also be able to identify suspense elements that are used in Edgar Allan Poe in Telltale Heart. So it's very important to keep your suspense elements notes in front of you so that you remember those that we talked about, and along with their definitions in case you forget what they are. So first things first, we are going to watch a video on Edgar Allan Poe. So what do you already know about Edgar Allan Poe? Take a minute to type your answer into the box. Now that minute's over, we're going to continue watching the video. So go ahead and answer that question. Where do you see the legacy of Edgar Allan Poe today? As you're answering that, I want you to think about our suspense unit, the stories we read, and different things that we've went throughout the unit to remind you of him. We are now going to move on. A little bit of more background information. He was born in Boston in January 19th of 1809. His family lived in poverty and they moved around a lot during his first years. His parents pursued acting engagements in New York, Maryland, and Virginia, so very close to us. Edgar Allan Poe published Telltale Heart, which is a gothic horror story, and it is a central mystery about the main character, whose concerns arise about his sanity in the midst of a terrible murder confession. Edgar Allan Poe uses symbolism, imagery, figurative language, and point of view to illustrate specific effects and create suspense within his writing. So this video acts as an introduction to Telltale Heart. It's kind of like a movie trailer, so it goes by super quick, but there's a lot to unpack in it. Alright, so that video is super exciting. We are now going to start reading. So if you are at school, you can choose a partner to read with, or you can read by yourself. If you are at home looking at the video, then I just ask you to take a couple minutes to read this. Think about what point of view this is written from. So first person, second person, or third person point of view. Now that you are finished that, go ahead and answer this question. What point of view is Telltale Heart told from? So remember, first person point of view uses keywords like I, me, my. Second person point of view uses keywords like you. And then third person point of view is he, she, they, them. All right? Keep in mind that limited means you only know the thoughts and feelings of one character. Meanwhile, objective means that you only know the actions of the characters. You don't know their feelings. Once you have answered that question, you can move on to reading paragraph 3. This really is a confessional from the narrator, so this is super important when considering his actions. Paragraph 4 is super entertaining as well. I want you to pay attention to the word sagacity and try to figure out what that means yourself using context clues. After reading paragraphs 3 and 4, what makes the old man spring up in his bed and cry out on the 8th night? I want you to go ahead and type your answer in this box, but be sure to use textual evidence to support your answer. Once you are finished with the answer, you can click the next arrow to move on. So we have paragraph 5. You can go ahead and read that. Moving on to paragraph 6. As you read this paragraph, keep in mind of the repetitiveness that the author contributes for the narrative's thoughts. I want you to think, does his repetitiveness make him a reliable or unreliable narrator? Once you are finished reading paragraph 6, paragraph 7 is on the next slide for you. Now, based on what you read, draw what the narrator hears when he is attempting to kill the old man. So you have drawing tools down at the bottom for you, but if you're someone that's not very artistic and you would choose to add an image, that is also acceptable as well. Whatever works for you, as long as it is explaining why the narrator is hearing what he's hearing. Next, when the narrator hears the heartbeat of the old man, what does he do? So we know he's hearing the heartbeat, but what is that causing him to do? Does it A, the narrator leaves the room? B, the narrator drags the old man under the mattress? Or C, the narrator takes the old man to the hospital? Go ahead and choose which option you believe it is, and then once you are finished, click Next to proceed. We are now reaching the end of the story. So you have paragraphs 8 and 9 along with 10 and 11. Keep in mind what the heartbeat resembles when reading this. Now that you are finished the story, what sounds does the narrator hear at the end of the story that causes him to confess to the murder? Use textual evidence to support your inference. So you can go ahead and type your answer in that box. I'll give you a couple minutes to do so. And the last thing is a collaboration board. So as you type in your answers, they're going to pop up on the board and everyone will be able to see them. This will really get everyone thinking about the different possibilities of what it could be. It would also see if you agree with some people and you can communicate about it. All right? So your question is, what does the sound of the old man's heart symbolize? You can use pictures, you can use videos, you can use a comment, or you can type in your answer. Whatever works best for you is fine. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and really unpacking Telltale Heart and all the different qualities of it.